if you can solve something as easy as this, then you can probably solve something more complex as this. My name is Evans, and in this video we're gonna learn how to solve double variable linear equations. So for this, we're gonna use two methods, and they're like the two most common method. So the first method is gonna be substitution, and the second method is gonna be addition slash elimination, right? So let's just practice solving some like simple equation, like singular variable equation. So let's say we had x, oh, this x wasn't good, x plus 1 equals 3, and let's just solve for x here, just subtract from both sides, right? So x is gonna equal 2, right? So this is basic, just to review. So the substitution method. So let's say you had two. Let's do something way simpler. Let's say you had x plus y equals, like, let's say 3, and x minus y equals 1, right? So the substitution method, as the name can, you can already tell by the name, is to substitute one variable from one equation to the other. Like, just solve for one variable in one equation, then substitute that variable you solve for in the other. So let's just do it, right? So let's just solve for x in this equation. We don't have to find the value of y or anything, just solve for x. So we're just gonna add y from to both sides, which is gonna leave us with x equal 1 plus y. So this is the value of x we found, and we can just plug in this value of x here, right? Instead of just having x, we can just plug in this now. So it's gonna equal 1 plus y equal 3, right? And then we can just do this. We can just 1 plus, we add these together, which is gonna equal 2y equals 3, and we can just subtract 1 now, which is gonna leave us with 2y equals 2, and divide 2 divide 2 divide the whole thing by 2. It's gonna leave us with y equals 1, right? So this is the value of y. Now to find the value of x, you can just plug in this value of y in this equation right there, this equation right there. So x is just going to equal 1 plus 1, which is the y, 1 plus 1, and x is just going to equal 2. So this is our value. This is our 2. This is now our answer. So we can just write this as the point form. So it's just going to equal 2, 1. So your teacher probably wants you to write something like this, like in an exam. So you're probably gonna have to write something like this, right? So now for the addition method or elimination method, which is basically the same thing. So let's take the same equation, but we're gonna take a different route, right? X plus y equal 3, and x minus y equals 1. So one thing you cannot probably notice is that if you add if you added these two equation, oh my god, if you added these two equation right there, you can see that the y would probably cancel, because if you had plus y minus y, this is just gonna equal 0, right? So these gonna cancel. So the addition method is all about adding the variable from the two equations. So you're just gonna add the x's, you're gonna add the y's, and you're also gonna add the solutions. So let's say we add the x's now. We're gonna have 2x, because x plus x 2x. Then this cancels out, equals 1 plus 4, which is 4, right? And for x, now we just divide both sides by 2, which is x equal 2, which is the same exact answer we got from here, right? And we can do the same. Now we can just plug in the x in one of these equations to find y. So let's say we have we just plug in x now. We can plug in this equation, we can just plug in 2 minus y equals 1. So now you can just subtract 2 from both sides, which is gonna equal y equals negative, okay, oh my god, negative y equals 1 minus 2, which is negative y equals negative 1. So now you can just multiply the whole equation by negative 1, divide the whole equation by negative 1 to get rid of the negative sign. So it's just going to equal y, just going to equal 1, which is going to be the same exact answer we got for this equation. So it's just going to equal 2, 1, which is the same exact thing we got for this one. So now let's do some practice, right? So now let's do some practice. We're gonna solve this set of equation by using the substitution method, and we're gonna solve this equation by using the addition method. So let's do the substitution method first. So we're gonna solve for one variable. Let's say this time we wanted to do for y, but it's gonna be more complex. It's not gonna be more complex. We're just gonna solve it for y here, right? We're just gonna solve it for y here. So it's just gonna equal negative y equals 2. We'll subtract x from both sides, and we can just multiply both sides by negative. We can just divide both sides by negative 1 to get rid of the negative signs. So it's just going to equal y equals 2, negative 2 plus x, right? And we can just plug in this here now for this y right there in this equation, right? So it's just going to equal x plus 2 times this negative 2 plus x equals 11. Then we just distribute this, and if you guys don't understand what distribute means, you can watch one of my other videos where I explain that. So 2, which is gonna equals let me remove that sign real quick. Yeah, so it's just gonna equal negative 4 plus 2x equals 11, and we're just gonna add these two now. So it's just gonna equal 3x minus 4 equals 11, and we're gonna add 4 from to both sides. 4. So this is gonna equal 3x equals 15, because 4 plus 11 is 15. Divide both sides by 3, and we got x equals 5, right? So this x equals 5. So now we can just plug in the value we got for x all the way here, right? To here to solve for, not here. We can just plug in it for here to solve for the y. So we know y equals this negative 2 plus x. And if we plug in x here, it's just going to be 5. Make this more clear. It's gonna be 5, which is gonna leave us with y equals 3. Perfect. And we can just write this now. So 5 as the x coordinate and 3 as the y coordinate. So this is the final answer. So now we can solve the other one using the substitution method, or not the addition method or elimination method, whatever you want to call it, right? So let's just find a way to cancel out a variable here. So this might looks like we can't do nothing, but we can actually do something. So if we just multiply the bottom equation by negative 1, this will leave us with a negative y, which will be able to cancel out. So just gonna equal negative x, negative y, and we're just negative 7. and 3x plus y equals 13. Now these cancel out, right? So now we can just add these and add these. So this is gonna result 2x, and this is gonna equal 13 minus 7, which is gonna equal 6. And we just divide both sides by 2 now, so x is gonna just equal 3. So this was way easier than the last one and way more um faster than the last one also. So now to find the y, we can just plug in the x in any of these equations. Let's pick the simpler one. Let's just pick this one, right? So let's plug in 3 plus y equals 7, and we just subtract 3, um which is gonna leave us with y equals 4. And don't forget, guys, if you're not sure if your answer is right, you can always plug them in. Just plug them in here. Just plug your x, plug your y, and see if it gets you the answer. So like for here, for example, let's do we got x, we plug in 3 here, and we plug in 4 here. So it's just gonna go 3 plus 4. This is equal 7. So this is correct. If we did the same thing over there, if we plug in 3 times 3 plus 4 is gonna equal 13. So this is correct. So now you guys can do these on your own. So now you can do this equation using the substitution method, and this equation using the addition method. And I'm just gonna leave the answers at the end of the uh, uh, in the comments, so don't forget to check the comments. And thank you guys, that will be all, and hope you guys enjoy the video and learn a lot of stuff. And don't forget to like, and if you guys have any problem with any problem with any schoolwork, you can always comment them, and I can always make a video about them. And don't forget to follow with my weird follow sign again, and this time don't forget to share. And thank you guys for watching. See you when I drop another video.